Hi folks, this is Robert with RetroBasic.com. I'm just coming up with a new idea. What I'd like to do is I'd like to set up and administer a basic programming course, kind of like what you'd have in school, but they don't teach it in school anymore. So what I'd like to do is administer this course to people who would just want to learn it. It would be a full deal, three uh, 3-month sessions, like a college semester, if you will. So it'd be a whole year, well, 9 months worth of stuff. And I'll go into how you'd get involved in it in a couple minutes here. When you learn a new language, you go through a lot of challenges. And recently, a podcaster got an email from someone who was in high school, 14 years old. They asked, how would I learn how to get into game programming at my level, where I'm at now? This podcaster advised the programmer to learn C# coupled with the Unity 3D game engine. Many things to say on that. I think you would be able to handle that at 14 years old. But I got into programming when I was 10 in 5th grade, and I used BASIC. Going back to this podcaster's idea, while this is great information, in my opinion, it would hinder the efforts of someone who might be in 5th, 6th, 7th grade, or middle school. When I learned to program, I was in 5th grade. I was on a TRS-80 Model 1 in BASIC, and I did exceedingly well in that learning BASIC. I moved on to do math, physics, C++, on to college, and these technical kind of things were easy for me. So if you have a youth that's 5th grade and you want to spark their interest in programming, BASIC is, in my opinion, the best way. Had I started out trying C# with Unity, I most certainly would have failed. Even how I know I am, I don't think I could have handled it. Even the podcaster stated, it's likely to take you several weeks of regular effort before you get really comfortable with your new skills. Several weeks, within that time, they could just decide that they're not going to make it. They might not do well. Since you don't want to set them up for failure, especially if they're younger, then learning BASIC is the best alternative to get someone into programming, in my opinion. If you're interested in these lessons, I would be making weekly lessons. They would be approximately 5 lecture lessons for about an hour each. They would introduce all the commands, all the functions. They would make small programs and run them. And I would post this all on my website, RetroBasic.com, under Educations and then Weekly Lessons. Email me. My email is in the description if you think this is a good idea. I also found some courses online for a language called Scratch, and I know this is one of the more popular youth-related languages, but to me it seems a little too easy. Almost everyone would be able to use this language, and it reminds me of Lego in that if you do programming, you will think the other languages are easy. Scratch is not a bad thing, but if it's your starting point, you may believe the other programming languages are just as easy, and well, they aren't. Java is very extensive. Any of the things like Python, C++, C#, they're all very advanced, and you have to be very smart to get into them. Also, if you have someone who is gifted in math and complicated science, this Scratch language probably would just bore them. I found online courses for Scratch were $819 a semester. I think it was a semester. That's relatively high. I could administer a basic programming course with daily subject matter, weekly lesson structure and 9 months worth of lessons, and it would be just $15 at my Patreon account. That would be way more cost effective. Um, if it sounds like a good idea, just email me. My link is in the description. And just based on what my story is, I went through a 2-year college for software engineering in Portland, Oregon, and I did extremely well. And I programmed C++ for, it was kind of like a subcontractor program, and that was just for 1 year. So I've done the programming professionally, and I wrote Retro Basic from the bottom up. It's a very good learning language, and our motto is you program it in Notepad, save it as a text file, and run it right in Windows. So the other thing is, even if you aren't a youth, maybe you're 20 years old, maybe you're 30, or like me in my 50s, programming is awesome. I also have another idea for going on Patreon, and it's because I'm working on a game right now that's good enough. It's very advanced. It looks like it's as fun as some of the old games on the Atari 2600. And I am going to place my code on itch.io. That's where they just give you a potential donation as they download the game. And I'm going to make a number of those kind of games. So I'm also doing Patreon. I'll have a separate video. If you'd like to get involved in programming and trying to make a game good enough to sell on itch, then maybe you could generate a small income from that. So that's going to be my second idea. Easy enough to do the lessons and the programming on itch, because writing a lesson plan takes... I just have to take a book, run through some samples, generate a few pages of documentation, and that can be, the whole week would be done in an hour or two, and then you're free to email me. My phone number is on the website. It's kind of hidden in there because I don't want everyone just dialing me up, but you could even call me if you need lesson information, or how do you do this, or I'm stuck here, and I can handle all that pressure of the training course. The other thing is that I will be giving out a diploma, and I'd like to give that out after the 9 months is done, and we're going to have a challenge program. In other words, it'll be a program good enough to post on itch.io. The winner of that will get an award of some kind. I don't know if it's going to be money. I could send them a book, a programming book, or some sort of extra diploma. But there are ways to make money with BASIC even, because since these programs run in Windows, if you write a really good game, people would be interested in it. There's a lot of interest in retro games now. So I'd like to get the lessons going. And you could always have someone test out the lessons and see if they like it for a month or so. They're going to be exciting, fun, educational. My website on the screen now, retrobasic.com with a dash. My email, write it down if you need to think about it a little while, r_twitty@yahoo.com, and you can see everything. My other videos have other content, and my website will definitely have more information. It's a brand new website, so there's that. And definitely thank you for watching. My name is Robert again. You guys have a great day.